ya, Regina, we gon' work it out cause we hear ya, we see ya, Regina, we gon' work it out cause we hear ya, we see ya.
Hi guys, it is Regina. Thank you so much for joining my channel. If you like, please press the like button and please subscribe. It will be highly appreciated. Okay guys, I want to get into this topic about Chris Brown. Now, as you know, Chris Brown had a concert, and a couple of days ago, there was a woman who was complaining about how she was invited to the VIP section of Chris Brown, and how she was turned away. Where the I guess the manager said that hey, we don't have no more tickets for you, but other people was getting tickets, like pretty, light skinned, white, mixed, all other type of women. But when she came, she was dark skinned and she couldn't get in. So I'm gonna let you guys see that if you haven't already saw it. I'm sure you guys saw it already, but if you haven't seen it, here it is.
Let me start off by saying, before all you Breezy fans come in my comments, I want to start off by saying I understand that a person can have a preference, but there is a very distinctive difference between having a preference and discrimination and humiliating your fans or someone who's coming to support you because of their skin tone. So to make a long story short, I was personally invited to the Breezy Bowl, to the Chris Brown concert. This is not my first time being personally invited to a concert. I have been personally invited and have VIP experience at multiple concerts, from Lil Baby to Rod Wave to Don Toliver to Drake. So this is not my first rodeo. This is not nothing that don't happen to me often, but this is the first time that I was ever humiliated, and I felt like my time was wasted. So to make a long story short, I was personally invited to the Breezy Bowl by someone who works alongside Chris Brown as well as other celebrities, like a whole bunch of celebrities. So basically, I was personally invited to the concert. I know my closest friend that I went to the concert with a couple weeks before I was invited, she expressed that she wanted to go. And if I have the access to go without her having to spend a dime and have the VIP experience that I'm used to and that I know I was supposed to have and that I was promised, why not make it happen? So when I was personally invited, obviously I didn't hesitate to say yes because, like I said, my friend, she really wanted to go. One of my closest friends really wanted to go. And then I went with two of my friends. One of my friends is dark skin, like me, and then my other friend is Puerto Rican, so she's light skin. Remember that. Put that in your head as this story goes on. So we are all from Cleveland, Ohio. We drove from Cleveland to Detroit for the show, I want to say about 4 weeks ago. The whole time I'm in communication with the person that personally invited me to the concert. To my knowledge, he was in London. Like I said, he worked alongside a lot of celebrities. He has access to a lot of celebrities and people in the industry, so he's always working. And he really doesn't like, coming to the East Coast where we are in America. Like Cleveland, Detroit is not his cup of tea when he do visit America. So I'm in communication with, my friend, my connection to the concert. And he's telling me, yeah, I'm leaving your tickets at the box office, how we usually do, your wristbands, VIP passes, whatever, at the box office under your name. Now, this is before the actual day of the concert that, we're talking about initially him leaving my tickets at the box office. So once we get to Detroit the day of the concert, I spoke with the guy, the person who works alongside Chris Brown, and he basically told me I was all set. He left my tickets at the box office. Chris Brown's manager have them at the box office with my name on them, so I just gotta go get them. Boom. So me and my friends are on our way to the concert. We're in our Uber, and I get a text message from the guy, and he's like, Chris Brown's manager is going to meet you at this location. He's in the pin location, and he's like, get there by 7:15. He's going to walk you personally to the VIP platform so you can watch the show from the VIP platform. So I was a little confused because, like I said, typically he leaves my tickets at box office. I just go through my first and last name, and I get my tickets that way. So I was like, so you don't want me to go to the box office? He's like, no, Chris Brown and his management team does things differently. So I was just like, okay, whatever. I do understand it's a different celebrity. Different celebrity, different management teams do things differently. So I just said, okay. So me and my friends get to the pin location. I'm on the phone with the guy, and he's like, yeah, I just got off the phone with Boba. He'll be there in a second. He knows that you guys are coming. He's expecting you guys. He's about to come get you plus two other girls. So Boba finally comes to the gate around like 7:15. He comes to the gate. I know it's him because he had a name tag on. His name tag basically said Boba. So I'm like, hey, are you Boba? Are you Chris Brown's manager? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm here with such and such. He said that you would be escorting me and my friends to the VIP platform. And he was like, oh, no, sorry, I don't have any more VIP wristbands. So mind you, it's 7:10, like 7:05, 7:10. So the concert just started. And I actually saw him have like 50 VIP wristbands in his pocket, but we're going to get there in a second. So he's like, I'm sorry, I don't have any more VIP wristbands left. So I'm like, huh? I'm like, I just got off the phone with such and such. He said that you were expecting me and my friends to come. So he's like, I'm sorry, sweetheart, I can't help you. And he walks away. Doesn't give us a ticket, don't give us any explanation, just that he doesn't have the wristbands. So I immediately get on the phone with my friend that works, with Chris Brown, knows Boba, knows all of them personally. And he's like, what? He's like, he literally just told me that he was coming to get y'all and he was expecting y'all. So he's like, let me call him and see what's going on. So he calls me back and he's just apologizing. He's like, I'm sorry, I don't know why he's tripping like that, but he doesn't want to give you guys the wristbands. So in the midst of it, I'm like, okay, well, he said he didn't have any left. But in the midst of it, we're standing there waiting for about 30 minutes to an hour. And me and my friends are watching him give girls wristbands that came way after us. And these girls were mixed. They were light skinned. They were Blasian. They were white. They were like, they didn't look like. So one of the guys from Chris Brown's entourage that was also with Boba walked up to my Puerto Rican friend and offered her a wristband. And she was like, well, what about my two friends that I'm with? And they're like, we can't help them. So this video is getting a little bit too long, but to make a long story short, we stood there and wasted. We missed Summer Walker and Bryson Tiller because we stood there waiting for somebody to help us for an hour. Boba and the rest of the entourage kept coming up, playing in our faces. They even tried to make us perform for the tickets, like made us spin around, audition, jump up and down on one leg, and stuff that the other women that did not have to do, like the light skinned girls, the white girls, the mixed girls. They didn't have to do that. They walked up, got their wristbands, were escorted down with no problem. So yeah, after them playing in our face for about an hour, we basically peeped what was going on. We realized we weren't, getting in, and that was that. So after like an hour of us waiting, Boba comes back and he gives us regular tickets, like tickets that were like, up in the sections, like up in the stands or whatever. So, I wasn't like tripping, but I just felt like he was only doing that because I had to basically, not necessarily harass him, but stress to him that we just drove all the way here from Cleveland and we were promised like VIP passes, VIP tickets by such and such. And he said you knew we were coming. So he basically just gave us the tickets because, I wouldn't let it go. But to make a long story short, I'm sure I'm missing a lot of different details to the events that took place while we were standing there. But, this is TikTok. I can't make a whole vlog about it. To make a long story short, those women that they are taking on stage, that Chris Brown is, performing for on stage, they are definitely pre-picked and pre-selected from that VIP platform that we were supposed to be standing on, that they're standing on, which is why Chris Brown has a preference. But you have not one time seen a dark-skinned girl up on that stage. And his entourage, his management, they're only doing what he is instructing for them to do, which is why you have not seen a woman of my complexion on the stage. All those women look like he's taking on stage because those are the only women that he's given the VIP access passes to make sure of it. I only say that I felt a little humiliated and my time was wasted because, like I said, this is not my first time being personally invited to a concert. This is my first time going, and the person actually looked me dead in my face and said that they were not giving me my passes. I do feel like the reason they don't allow for people to go get their tickets from the box office, how I normally do it, is because they want to see what you look like first. Chris Brown and his team wants to make sure that you pass the paper bag test before you just walk up and they set, basically. And like I said, they're pre-picking those girls. Like, all those girls look alike, and that's why I stood there for an hour, and this man kept saying he didn't have any wristbands left, but he gave away about 50 to women, that fit their criteria. And this isn't any, like, I can't tell you guys who to support, but I just want to let y'all know, like, if y'all wasn't paying to see him, y'all wouldn't be seeing him. So that's just really it. Like, he wouldn't give y'all the time of day. So I just want to let y'all know who y'all supporting.
Okay, so as you can see, like, this girl is really going in, and she's talking about how, she couldn't get in because basically she was dark skinned. And how many times have we heard this same narrative about Chris Brown not really liking or having much love for the darkies? But I don't know. I mean, I've heard this every couple of years. I mean, me personally, I thought he was canceled. I thought that the ladies canceled him, but I guess they didn't. But I'm just trying to figure out how many times does this have to happen to more and more and more dark-skinned women for them to realize that maybe Chris Brown don't like them like that. I mean, let alone like them. I don't even think he even respects them, because if they paid for a ticket to be in the VIP section and then they still couldn't get in there, like that's disrespectful. Like, I mean, he could have his preference, but if you a darkie and you paid to be there, you should be able to be up there if you paid to be there. Like, or if you had that, the ticket experience, you should be able to be there. But I don't understand why so many women are always coming out. I think like every 2 or 3 years they coming out talking about how Chris Brown don't like dark-skinned women. I mean, ever since he did what he did to Rihanna, I mean, wasn't he the same one that broke her face and rearranged her whole face and had her looking all crazy? But I thought people stopped messing with him then. But I don't know, a lot of women, they still I guess they still want to be bothered with him. I guess I don't know. I think that a lot of women, and I think that this is the case with a lot of women, where, they don't really care if it happens to another woman. They just think, maybe it's just not going to happen to me. Like, they don't care about someone else. They just like, you know what? Maybe it's not. Maybe it happened to them, but it's probably not going to happen to me. Maybe they changed. Maybe there was a dispute with that individual, and they're not going to do that to me as long as it doesn't affect me. I really don't care. And the thing is that they start complaining when it does affect them. And I mean, Chris Brown never came out and said himself that he don't like dark skinned women, but he did say that he did have some little racy lyrics. He did have some racy lyrics, and where he was talking about how he dates the girls with the curly hair, I guess, or the wavy hair, I guess. I don't know, but he did have some crazy lyrics, and I understand his preference, but I do understand that a lot of women, if they feel that way, they really do need to stop giving this man their money and stop supporting this man with their dollars. Because if he's doing this and he's treating y'all like that, I don't even. It's at this point that you can't even blame him. You can't even blame him. You have to start to look at the women now. Because how many times has this actually happened? So, I think that, women need to start, or people in general, need to start, looking at themselves and start changing the problem, because the problem's not going to change itself. So, you guys let me know what you guys think about this, because me personally, I think it's an easy fix. Stop supporting the man. If you feel like the man, is not liking your type, or he has disrespect for your type of phenotype, just stop supporting him. It's as easy as that. Stop going to the concerts. Stop going to these meet and greets and paying him an arm and a leg just to take a picture with him. Like, if that's the case, I mean, y'all is the one that's putting money in his pocket. And if y'all stop putting money in his pocket, he's still gonna get money. So it's like, just go where you appreciate it and not where you're shunned. So that's my take on it. But you guys let me know what you guys think about this whole Chris Brown situation, because I think it's at this point, it's like you can't even take that seriously now. It's more like some sort of gossip when it comes to that. But anyway, this is Regina. Please have a great and beautiful day, and please be safe. All right, you guys have a good day. Bye. Catch you guys in the next one.